She was one of the most recognizable faces of the 1990s, a true supermodel who ruled the runways and magazine covers alongside legends like Naomi Campbell and Christy Turlington. Her name? Linda Evangelista. Then she vanished. For years, she was completely absent from the spotlight. No interviews, no red carpets, no explanation. Until 2021, when she finally broke her silence with a shocking revelation.
I really wanted to wear fashion. I wanted to model because I was obsessed with fashion. I was obsessed with clothing. I just loved it, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wasn't discovered in a mall.
She said she had been brutally disfigured by a popular cosmetic procedure called CoolSculpting, a treatment meant to eliminate fat. But in her case, it did the opposite. What happened to Linda Evangelista isn't just a personal tragedy. It exposes something much deeper about beauty, aging, and the impossible standards women face every day. This is her story, and it's one the beauty industry doesn't want you to hear. Before the world knew her name,
when I first cut my hair off and I went to Milano to do the shows, I was booked for like 20 shows. About 15 of them canceled me because they didn't understand the haircut at first.
Linda Evangelista was just a teenager from St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. But even then, she had something rare. A presence. A face made for fashion. She began modeling in the early 1980s, signing with elite model management, and slowly made her way through the competitive world of fashion. But it wasn't until the late 80s and early 90s that Linda truly exploded onto the global stage. This was the golden era of the supermodel, a word that didn't even exist before women like Linda Evangelista, Naomi Campbell, and Christy Turlington redefined what it meant to be a model. They weren't just mannequins. They were celebrities, icons, household names. Linda stood out, even among the elite. Her beauty was described as chameleonic. One day, she was the girl next door. The next, a high-fashion goddess. With piercing blue eyes, razor-sharp cheekbones, and the confidence to pull off any look, she became a photographer's dream. In fact, legendary fashion photographer Steven Meisel once said Linda was his muse, having shot her more than any other model. But it wasn't just her face that made headlines, it was her attitude. She famously declared, "I don't wake up for less than $10,000 a day." That line, bold and unapologetic, became the slogan of an entire era of glamour. She graced the covers of over 700 magazines, walked for every major fashion house, Chanel, Versace, Valentino, Dior. And her constant hair transformations, from brunette to platinum blonde to fiery red, set trends worldwide. By the early 1990s, Linda Evangelista was more than a model. She was a symbol of power, fashion, and reinvention. At her peak, she wasn't just in demand, she was everywhere. But as quickly as she rose to the top, she would later disappear just as suddenly, leaving the world wondering, what happened to the most famous face in fashion? By the mid-2010s, something strange began to happen, or rather, not happen. Linda Evangelista, once the face of every major magazine and runway, had quietly disappeared from the spotlight. No red carpet appearances, no fashion campaigns, no interviews, nothing. Fans and fashion insiders started to whisper, where did she go? Was she retired? Was she ill? Why had one of the world's most photographed women seemingly vanished without a trace? But no one had answers. Until September 2021. In a deeply personal Instagram post, Linda broke her silence. And what she revealed shocked the world. She said she had been brutally disfigured by a cosmetic procedure called CoolSculpting, a fat-freezing treatment she underwent between 2015 and 2016. Instead of slimming her figure, the treatment did the opposite. She developed a rare side effect called paradoxical adipose hyperplasia, or PAH. It caused large, hard, fatty growths to appear in the treated areas, including her chin, thighs, and abdomen. The condition was not only physically disfiguring, it was irreversible. Linda said she underwent 2 painful liposuction surgeries to try and remove the masses. But they came back. And worse, the PAH left her body with visible bulges in the exact shape of the CoolSculpting device used. She was devastated. Modeling, her career, her passion, her identity was suddenly out of reach. Linda spiraled into depression, self-loathing, and isolation. She said she became a recluse, unable to even look in the mirror, let alone face the camera. The supermodel who once transformed fashion was now hiding from the very world that once worshipped her. CoolSculpting, it sounds futuristic, even harmless. A non-invasive cosmetic treatment that promises to freeze away fat without surgery, pain, or downtime. The concept is simple. A device is placed over targeted areas, cooling the fat cells until they die off and are naturally eliminated by the body. It's been heavily marketed as a safe, easy way to sculpt the body, often seen in dermatology offices, med spas, and on social media. But what many people don't know is that CoolSculpting carries a rare but serious side effect: paradoxical adipose hyperplasia, or PA. In rare cases, estimated between 1 in 3,000 to 1 in 20,000, instead of shrinking, the fat cells do the opposite. They grow, they harden, they clump together into large, unnatural bulges that don't respond to diet, exercise, or even surgery. And that's exactly what happened to Linda Evangelista.
We were just hitting fashion people, and suddenly I was being recognized by kids on the street, and that's what really...
According to her, the bulges developed in multiple areas: her chin, thighs, abdomen, and flanks, each one reflecting the exact shape of the CoolSculpting applicator used. Even after undergoing 2 full-body liposuction procedures, she says the bulges returned. Her modeling career was over, and her confidence shattered. In 2021, she filed a $50 million lawsuit against Zeltic Aesthetics, the maker of CoolSculpting and a subsidiary of pharmaceutical giant Allergan. The suit alleges negligence, lack of warning about side effects, and physical and emotional damages. The case brought global attention not only to Linda's personal struggle, but to the hidden dangers of cosmetic procedures that are often marketed as risk-free. It forced the public and the beauty industry to ask a difficult question: how much do we really know about the treatments we trust with our bodies? Linda Evangelista was once the definition of beauty, a living, breathing standard in the world of fashion. But even she, with all her fame and success, wasn't immune to the pressure. In today's beauty culture, youth isn't just celebrated, it's required. Wrinkles are erased, curves are trimmed, gray hairs are hidden. Aging, especially for women, is treated like a flaw to be corrected rather than a natural part of life. By her 50s, Linda still had modeling opportunities. But to maintain them, she felt the unrelenting demand to look younger, thinner, to match an industry that still idolized 25-year-old bodies. So she turned to CoolSculpting, not out of vanity, but out of survival in an image-obsessed world. What happened next exposed the harshest truth. Even beauty icons aren't allowed to age without punishment. Her body, ironically, became a physical monument to this twisted paradox. The CoolSculpting procedure, designed to perfect her figure, instead left her permanently scarred. And not just scarred, marked. The fat deposits that grew in response to the treatment didn't form randomly. According to Linda, they grew in the exact rectangular shape of the CoolSculpting wand. Her body literally took the shape of the device used to sculpt it. It's a haunting image, a body reshaped not by time, but by the very tool meant to fight it, a cruel symbol etched into her flesh, revealing the violence hidden behind beauty standards. And the deeper tragedy? That Linda felt compelled to undergo the procedure in the first place. Not because she lacked beauty, but because, in this culture, beauty has an expiration date. Linda's story isn't just about a medical mishap. It's about a system that pushes even the most beautiful among us to feel not enough. A system that glorifies eternal youth, yet discards the women who dare to age naturally. Linda Evangelista's story is more than a personal tragedy. It's a reflection of us. In today's world, cosmetic culture is everywhere. From airbrushed Instagram filters to lunchtime beauty fixes, society has normalized, even celebrated, the idea of fixing our bodies. But what we don't talk about often are the costs. We hear about beauty treatments as empowering choices, but we rarely acknowledge the pressure behind them. Pressure to look young, flawless, slim, especially for women in the public eye. Yes, there's more talk about body positivity than ever before. We celebrate different shapes, sizes, and identities. But aging? That's still taboo. Fine lines, loose skin, natural weight changes, these things are quietly edited out, filtered, hidden. We praise self-love, yet punish the signs of time. Linda's case shattered that illusion. Here was a woman who was once paid thousands just to show her face, now living in isolation, ashamed of what a beauty treatment had done to her. The procedure didn't just change her body, it broke her career, her confidence, and her connection to the world. But instead of staying silent, Linda did something few others in her position had done. She spoke up. In 2021, she went public with her story. Not just to seek justice, but to warn others. After her reveal, something powerful happened. Other people, also suffering from the same rare side effect, PA, began to come forward. Her courage gave them a voice. Her vulnerability opened a door. In showing her wounds, Linda forced a conversation about the hidden harms of cosmetic perfection. She made people look deeper, not just at what went wrong with CoolSculpting, but at the culture that made such a risk feel necessary. Her pain became a powerful cultural mirror, reflecting how far we're willing to go to meet impossible standards, and how quickly we abandon those who fall short of them. In a world obsessed with appearance, Linda Evangelista's story is a bold reminder. The cost of beauty can be far more than skin deep. After years of silence, Linda Evangelista reemerged, not on a runway, but in the pages of Vogue. In 2022, she appeared in a powerful photo shoot, makeup carefully applied to contour the areas affected by the CoolSculpting damage. The message was clear. She wasn't hiding anymore. Then came the Apple TV Plus documentary series, The Supermodels, where Linda opened up on camera about her journey, the pain, the loss, the courage it took to step back into the spotlight. It wasn't a return to the version of her that once ruled the 90s. It was something greater, a reclamation. By telling the truth, by showing her face, her story, her scars, Linda took back control of the image the world once defined for her. Today, her story is more than a headline. It's a symbol of resilience in the face of public pressure, a warning about the hidden costs of chasing perfection, and a mirror held up to all of us, asking how much we're willing to sacrifice just to meet an ideal that was never real to begin with. Linda Evangelista's body refused to hide the truth, and now her voice makes that truth impossible to ignore. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more powerful stories like this one. Your support helps us bring more truth to light.